Hi everyone, my name is RT Slaywood and welcome to the AMA that you all desperately asked for. So without much ado, let's get started. I am the performing satired writer of Twitter. I write books on Twitter, I make memes of books on Twitter. That's basically it. If you're not interested in one of those two things, you should probably change the channel. Well, I mean, unless you want to be a part of history, because I'm going to end up being famous and basically running the whole publishing industry in the next 5 to 10 years. So let's get started. At TPB_writes asks, in a world where toys are alive, what toy would you be? And why would it be a Furby? I'm going to be honest, I want absolutely nothing to do with Furbies at this point. Not only did suggesting writing that Furby erotica caused problems, but the process of actually doing it caused a mental breakdown. It set my writing back about 2 months minimum and caused me to lose several business relationships in the process. At this point, the plan is to completely scrap the Furby and erotica parts of the story and just write what that story is meant to be. TPB has a follow-up question. Would I rather have a book that everyone reads, but they're constantly pointing out mistakes, or a book that only one person reads, but they refuse to talk about it? I would absolutely choose the first one, because I'm in this for the money. Yeah. I'm not going to explain any further. Nick_A_writes asks, do I have any plans to take the Furby erotica to other genres? Things like, high fantasy, sci-fi, young adult? No. That project is probably dead in the water for the foreseeable future. His follow-up question is, a 6-foot-tall penguin army has declared war against other birds. Which side do I choose and why? To be fair, I'd choose a side without the penguins just because they're outnumbered massively. His last question is, what are my writing goals for end of 2021 through 2020? Unfortunately, they're kind of the same goals I had when I started. I made this Twitter account like 7 years ago, ditched it, came back about 6 months ago, published a book, became a bestseller, and now unpublished the book. And because of that, I basically have to become a published author again. Thus the no Furbies until I get at least that off the ground, and probably never again due to copyright issues and just general horrific, mind-melting awfulness that is imagining animatronic 6-foot-tall birds having sex with each other. Next up, said by Steve, asks, just how many hamsters do I have running between the wheels, between my temples at any given moment? Realistically, one, but he's a fucking badass in every sense of the word. Not only that. Next up, said by Steve, asks, just how many hamsters do I have running between the wheels, between my temples at any given moment? Realistically, one, but he's a fucking badass in every sense of the word. Not only that. Said by Steve asks, just how many hamsters are running between the wheels in my head at any given moment? The answer is probably just one, except he's really stimulated, like all the time. Mainly because there's a giant taser chasing after him, and if he stops, he gets zapped in the butt really bad, and basically goes into cardiac arrest until we replace the hamster. Follow-up question is, if I could change any non-caffeinated beverage into a caffeinated beverage, what would I pick? And I think the obvious answer is just about any alcoholic beverage. Not because I would drink it, but because I like the idea of just about everything being White Claw and seeing the chaos that would ensue upon it across the globe. So, follow-up question to the follow-up question is, who would win in a fight, a unicorn on opium or a Furby with priapism? I'm going to say the unicorn. Final question is, what does mauve taste like? I'm going to say baby powder. Can't imagine why. Okay, Mitko3 asks, Alexa off. It's 33. Body modification surgeries are all the rage. Extra hands on foreheads, extra arms. Which one is the most popular and why? Probably gender reassignment, I would think, would be number 1. Tentacles would be an easy number 2. The follow-up question is, why are clouds? Because gas? Follow-up question is, what does the number 7 have to do with the story of Kim? I will get back to that one in a little bit. Instead, I will answer the question, man is singing loudly off-key in a rain barrel for hours. Why? Well, sometimes it's okay to have a bad day. The Reels J Rich A1 asks, who would win in a fight between Bigfoot or a Yeti? I'm going to say a Yeti. Most Yetis have ice powers. Bigfoot doesn't. Although Bigfoot is very hard to find. I guess it would depend on the terrain. A_baguette_A asks, how memes? Memes are all about virality, right? So you gotta pick something new, something topical. I sourced most of mine on Google image search for new memes. I use a meme editor that I downloaded, and then for special ones I'll do some background erasing, stuff like that, to make it more relevant to whatever the subject matter is. Other than that, it's just about knowing your audience, right? If you like anime, you're going to want to have a lot of people who like anime following you. You're going to want to make your memes anime-based. If you have a bunch of writers following you, you should use Terry Pratchett quotes. At Lifestyle Prisons asks, why did? I assume you mean, why did I delete my book and unpublish it? I'm guessing, well, I'm not guessing, I know why. It's because of the Furby erotica. Yeah, that's not a good business practice. And I'm going to keep that in mind in the future. I need to expand my opportunities, not limit them. Really? You hide and go seek, but you lock the bathroom door. Can you unlock it?
Yeah, because I'm going potty.
Nick_A_ writes, asks, why is there an extra pumpkin at the end of my name instead of a D? That has been since fixed. Nick's follow-up question is who is the genius that this book is based off of? The Genius's Guide to Writing Bad. I'll tell you one thing, it's definitely not me. I think a lot of the stuff that I do is a little bit too subtle to be considered genius. Next follow-up question is, when is my next book scheduled to release? I'm gonna guess Probably by December if everything goes according to plan. So, to answer the question about what the number 7 means, 7 is the number of binding in the story of Kin and Cal. Those with keen eyes may notice that the banner to my Twitter profile has a kind of counting scheme where each line increases the number of words by 1. Unfortunately for Christy, the true secret of what count is 7 and what that means is, well, it'll be revealed once I publish the book.